Okay, well, good morning. Thank everybody for joining us. Today we're sharing the results of a search warrant that was executed on October 21st, 2025, which resulted in one arrest and the largest seizure of illicit drugs in the history of the Sault Ste. Marie Police Service. This was a collaborative effort between the Sault Ste. Marie Police Service's Crime Suppression Unit, Drug Enforcement Unit, and Emergency Services Unit, as well as the Ontario Provincial Police's Emergency Response Team and Provincial Operations Intelligence Bureau. As a reminder, we urge media members not to get too close to the exhibits, take photos and videos from a distance. This is evidence in an ongoing investigation. Right now, I'll call on Interim Deputy Chief William Freeman to say a few words.
Thank you, Lincoln. Good morning, everybody. First, I'd like to thank everyone for being here today to help share the news of this significant investigation. As you know, on the morning of October 21st, our officers executed a search warrant within a unit in a multi-unit residential building on Princess Crescent. During that operation, we located and arrested a 20-year-old individual from Toronto and began our search. Inside the accused unit and vehicle, officers located and seized more than $1.4 million worth of illicit drugs and over $124,000 in Canadian currency, making this the largest drug seizure in the history of the Sault Ste. Marie Police Service. That includes more than 10 kilograms of fentanyl, cocaine, methamphetamine, and oxycodone. That's more than 10 kilograms of poison that will not make it onto our streets to harm our people in our community. This investigation reflects our commitment to protecting our community and holding drug traffickers accountable. I want to recognize the outstanding work of our Drug Enforcement Unit, Crime Suppression Unit, and the officers in our Emergency Services Unit who assisted with the execution of this warrant. Their professionalism and teamwork has made this historic seizure possible. I also want to thank our partners at the Ontario Provincial Police, particularly the Emergency Response Team and the Provincial Operations Intelligence Bureau, for their collaboration and expertise. Working together, we were able to prevent a significant amount of harm to our community. Thank you.
All right, short and sweet this morning. That concludes sort of the formal portion. Interim Deputy Chief Freeman is available for questions now.
Would you like to do it together?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Sure, I'll just stay here.
I'll just use the podium so I can have look at my notes, if that's okay.
Can you talk a little bit about the history about how this drug seizure came into play in terms of the investigation itself?
What I can tell you is that this was a long, ongoing investigation using intelligence-led police strategies, gathering the intel and determine that the illicit drugs were being trafficked into our community and being distributed.
Where were the drugs coming from?
We believe that the accused is from the Toronto area, and sole purpose while staying up here in Sault Ste. Marie was for the purpose of distributing and selling drugs.
You say ongoing investigation. Can you give a time length of what long and ongoing means?
In order to protect the integrity of the investigation, I don't want to get into timelines, but I can tell you that it was an ongoing intelligence-led policing strategy.
Is this investigation over now, or do you anticipate additional charges or seizures?
That's a great question. The investigation is ongoing. As of right now, there was one person in custody, and if anybody else is identified, they will be exposed and held accountable.
What stood out to you the most about this particular drug bust?
Well, as you can see from the display here to my left, the sheer volume. Number one. Again, this is over $1.4 million worth of illicit drugs, and I'd like to think that this has prevented a significant amount of drugs from entering our community or poison entering our community.
Do you know where they came from? Like, did they actually come from Toronto, or is there a...
I can't get into the details of the investigation. All I can do is tell you that the accused that is now in custody we believe is from the Toronto area.
The accused, any prior arrests?
I do not have that information at this time, but what I can do is put you in contact with our corporate comms manager to help you out with that.
Can we get maybe a picture of you, like, closer to the drugs, like just for...
Sure.
Step back to get them on the paper in the photo.
William Freeman, I'm the interim deputy chief here at Sault Ste. Marie Police Service.
Okay, so, we talked about the significance of this. Can you sum up just how important something like this is to the community?
I would say that the sheer magnitude of the seizure is very significant. We've prevented a large amount of poison from going onto our streets within our community. And this is about community safety and saving lives. And if that's the case, if we even only saved one life or prevented one overdose, then I would say that's a positive win for us and the community.
I understand that you can't get too far into the detail, but can you kind of outline the breadth of the work that went into to make this happen?
I can't say enough about our local drug enforcement unit and crime suppression unit, utilizing intelligence-led strategies in order to gain the intel and all the work that has gone involved in a project. We're not even a project, just a case like this. Their continuing efforts are just an example of how they take the community safety of Sault Ste. Marie seriously.
And again, I know that you can't go too far into the actual investigation, how this happened, but this wasn't something that was just happened upon. This wasn't a random incident. Can you give a little more details about how that came to be?
I can tell you that our drug enforcement unit, again using intelligence-led strategies, gained intelligence of the drugs being trafficked into Sault Ste. Marie and being distributed, continued to investigate that person involved, identified that person, exposed that person, ultimately executed warrants, and that person is now in custody and is in custody today.
With just the sheer amount of drugs, money, etc., was this person believed to be fairly high up on any type of local drug, the local drug scene? Would there be a lot that would filter through this person?
I can tell you this. I can tell you that I can't attribute that this person is affiliated with any specific group. What I can tell you is that the sheer amount of drugs that you see before you and the packaging involved, that this person was organized.
And this person was believed to be from Toronto. How is that something that is so regularly seen in Sault Ste. Marie when it comes to the drug trade?
Drug trafficking does continue to evolve, and we continue to evolve to match that in terms of intelligence-led strategies. It seems to be a common theme that drugs are being moved up to the north, and we continue to work collaboratively with our partners, including the OPP, to combat that the best we can.
You mentioned just the sheer volume, the fact that this is the largest in Sault Ste. Marie's history. How does that really, I guess, show the work that's ongoing, that that there's, or even just kind of the state of the city as it relates to illicit drugs?
I can tell you that the officers involved continue to work diligently in order to expose people like the accused that is now in custody, and to improve the public safety within our community. That's all I can tell you.
Believed to be, this is an ongoing investigation. There's believed to be more that could result from this.
Good question. Again, the investigation is ongoing. As of right now, one person is currently in custody as a result of this seizure. If more people are identified, then they will be exposed and treated accordingly.